On the morning of her 32nd birthday, Susan Vance reached for her phone before she even opened the curtains.
Nothing. Not a single message, not even from my own mother.
Then the screen lit up, a text from Karen. It said only, "You always make it a big thing."
She forgot. Again, my birthday, and she's blaming me for being upset.
Before she could reply, the phone rang in her hand, an unknown number.
Ms. Vance, this is Andrew Harris. I'm the attorney for your grandfather, Charles Vance.
My grandfather? But he passed away 6 weeks ago.
He left specific instructions. The will reading was scheduled for today. He was very insistent on the date.
Today? He knew it was my birthday. He planned this. Yes, I'll be there. Tell me the address.
It had been 13 years since anyone in her family remembered Susan's birthday.
19. My parents called to ask about Ashley's party decorations. Not a word about my birthday.
Ashley's celebrations, on the other hand, grew more extravagant every year.
Only the best for my Ashley. She deserves a special day.
But the deeper wound was something Susan only suspected. Karen had been curating a lie for years.
Dad, Susan doesn't want to talk to you anymore. She's been very clear about it. It's best you don't try.
When Charles sent a birthday card anyway, Karen intercepted it. It never reached Susan's hands.
For years, I thought he forgot me too. But what if he never did?
The attorney said Charles had scheduled the will reading for today, her birthday. The question that burned as she headed out the door was why. The law firm of Harris and Lowell occupied a floor of reflective glass downtown. Susan had to force herself to walk through the doors.
It felt wrong to step into a lawyer's office on my birthday, but what choice did I have?
The receptionist looked up with practiced neutrality and gestured toward the hallway. A tall man in a charcoal suit emerged. Andrew Harris had the steady gaze of someone who had delivered many hard truths.
Ms. Vance, thank you for coming so quickly. Please, follow me.
You said my grandfather insisted on today. Why?
He was a man of precise intentions. I suspect you will understand shortly.
He led her into a spacious office and sat behind a mahogany desk. Susan took the chair opposite, her hands clasped tight.
My heart was pounding. Whatever was in that file was going to change something.
Andrew opened a folder. His expression remained unreadable, but Susan caught the faintest pause before he looked up. Andrew spoke without preamble, his voice low and deliberate.
Your grandfather began monitoring the situation after your 19th birthday. He compiled a list of every time you were overlooked.
He saw it all. My own father didn't notice, but Charles did. What did he do about it?
He amended his will repeatedly. Each year he would call me with new instructions. The final change was made the morning he died.
The morning he died. So whatever it is, it was his last act. Tell me, what did he change?
Andrew hesitated, then reached into the file and withdrew a document bearing the heading, Trust Amendment.
He moved a substantial sum out of your mother's inheritance and into a trust for you. That is the financial reality.
But before Susan could ask how much, Andrew closed the folder and folded his hands. Andrew reopened the folder as if the pause had been a signal. His voice was flat, each word clipped.
The exact figure moved into your trust is $2.1 million. Your mother retains only the house.
2.1 million. He cut my mother out of almost everything she expected.
Andrew turned another page, handwritten notes in Charles' own script, a list of dates. Every year she was forgotten.
He archived everything, the parties thrown for your sister, the silence on your day, 11 entries. He wanted you to know.
He saw every single birthday, and he decided to wait until he couldn't wait anymore. Why the morning he died? Why not years ago?
He believed the timing would make the impact undeniable, especially tied to today.
Today? What else did he plan?
Andrew didn't answer directly. He simply opened a drawer and set a sealed envelope on top of the file. 30 miles away, the afternoon sun poured over a sprawling vineyard estate where another celebration was underway. Inside, the main hall had been transformed for Ashley's 28th birthday gala.
Make sure the champagne tower is centered. I want everything photographed.
Mom, this is perfect. Get my good side in every single shot.
Robert stood near the bar, a glass in his hand, watching Karen orchestrate the spectacle with a distant unease. Then Karen's phone buzzed loudly over the ambient music. The caller ID read First National Bank.
What do you mean frozen? That credit line is secured against the inheritance.
The banker's voice was clinical. The funds had been recalled due to estate changes. No further information.
Karen, what's going on? You look pale.
She forced a smile that didn't reach her eyes. Nothing. Just a bank mix-up. She lied, her fingers trembling around the phone. The envelope on the desk was thick, cream-colored, with Susan written in blue ink she recognized immediately.
That's his handwriting. I'd know it anywhere.
He sealed this himself and delivered it to me 3 days before he died. His instructions were that you open it alone after the financial disclosure.
What's in it?
I don't know. He never told me. He only said it was the part that mattered most.
Susan reached for the envelope, then stopped. Her hand hovered above it.
13 years of silence. And now this. What if opening it breaks something I can't fix?
She picked it up, the paper weightless in her trembling fingers.
Take your time. There's no rush.
She set it in her lap, unable to break the seal. Not yet. The weight of the envelope pulled her back to the last time she heard Charles's voice, 3 months before he died.
I called him on a rainy Tuesday. I was sobbing, begging him to believe I never stopped loving him.
He had sounded so tired. "Susan, is that really you?" he whispered, as if he'd been waiting years.
I told him I never refused to see him. Mom lied. But he sounded confused, like he didn't fully believe me.
I believe he began to suspect the truth in his final weeks. He stopped trusting your mother's reports entirely.
So he might have died knowing the truth. That made the envelope burn in my hands.
Charles had been quietly writing his own record of her birthdays, a separate act from the legal changes.
I need to know what he wanted to tell me. No more waiting.
She traced the seal with her fingertip, but still, she didn't open it. Not yet. At the winery, Karen had retreated to a quiet alcove, her phone pressed to her ear for the 3rd time. The bank's automated voice only repeated, "Credit line frozen."
I need a supervisor. This is a mistake. My inheritance, it's millions. Someone has to explain. The call that morning from the estate lawyer, was that it? Had Charles done something?
Before she could call another number, Ashley appeared, her designer heels clicking fast.
Mom, what is going on? I saw you on the phone 3 times. This is my party.
Nothing, sweetheart. Just a banking mix-up. They'll fix it. Go enjoy your day.
She's lying. Her hands are shaking.
Karen, if there's a problem with the estate, we need to know now. The caterers will look for payment tonight.
Guests began filtering into the hall, the string quartet starting a light sonata. Karen plastered on a smile that felt like broken glass.
Welcome. Welcome. Isn't this magical?
In the office, the intercom on Andrew's desk blinked red. He listened for a moment, his expression hardening.
The bank just called. Your mother has been demanding answers for over an hour. They need formal confirmation of the trust changes.
She's scrambling at the party. Good. Let her feel it. Confirm it. Tell them exactly what my grandfather did.
Andrew nodded and stepped out. The door clicked shut, leaving Susan alone with the envelope. She lifted the envelope, studied the seal one last time, then slid her fingernail under the flap in one deliberate motion. The paper gave way with a crisp tear. She spread the flaps and peered inside.
Cards. Bright envelopes. His writing.
Her hands began to shake. She pressed the envelope closed again, unable to pull anything out.
Oh, Grandpa.
Susan pulled out a bundle of brightly colored envelopes tied with a faded red ribbon.
11. One for every year they forgot.
The first card read, "Happy 19th birthday, Susan. I hope this finds you. I miss you." Inside was a check for $5,000. She lifted the next one, then another. Each card bore a different year and a check for $5,000.
Every single year he wrote me. Even when Mom told him I didn't want to hear from him, he never stopped.
Her fingers trembled over the envelopes as she spread them across the desk, a mosaic of lost years.
$55,000 in total. But that wasn't even the point.
At the bottom of the stack, a handwritten note lay folded, different from the others.
This one wasn't a card. It was something he wrote only for me.
She cradled the entire bundle to her chest, afraid to read the last message, but knowing she had to. She separated the folded note from the cards. Her fingers felt numb as she unfolded it. The note read, "I know what she did. I'm sorry it took me this long."
He knew. All these years he knew Mom kept us apart, and he still loved me.
Andrew had returned silently and stood near the door. His own expression softened.
He never stopped believing in you. That note was the first thing he wrote after the last amendment.
The money was just the evidence. This note, this is what matters. She told him I refused to see him for 11 years, and he still figured it out.
He did. And he gave you the truth as his final act. What you do with it is yours now.
Susan pressed the note to her lips. The room felt lighter, as if Charles himself had spoken. After a long silence, she tucked the note into her dress pocket, next to her heart. Susan stood, her legs steady for the first time all day. She shook Andrew's hand firmly.
Thank you, but I'm not done. I'm going to the winery.
She gathered the bundle of cards and the trust document and walked out into the late afternoon light. At the winery, Karen's phone buzzed again. The bank's notification confirmed. Credit line permanently revoked due to estate restructuring.
Charles changed the will. He cut me out of almost everything. No, this can't be. He wouldn't do that to me.
She looked through the archway at the glittering party and felt the floor drop away. In her car, Susan set the bundle of cards on the passenger seat and stared at the road ahead.
He gave me 11 birthdays in one envelope. Now I'm going to take back today.
She turned the key and pulled onto the highway, the winery 30 miles away, and every mile feeling like a countdown. The highway thinned into vineyard roads, the sun slipping below the hills in strokes of orange and purple.
I'm not the girl they left out anymore. Not after today.
The winery emerged around a bend, its stone facade lit up like a postcard, music drifting from the open doors.
They're in there celebrating her. My birthday. My grandfather's last day.
She parked at the edge of the lot, away from the valet, and killed the engine. The silence that followed pressed against her ears.
He gave me the truth. Now I have to use it.
A string quartet played a waltz. Voices laughed over clinking glass. The air smelled of jasmine and roast chicken.
I could just leave, let them drown in their own mess. But that's not why I came.
She gathered the bundle of cards and the folded trust document, holding them against her chest like armor. Then she opened the car door and stepped into the cool evening, ready to walk into the party that was never meant for her. The string quartet played a waltz. Susan moved through the crowd, her bundle of envelopes clutched like a shield. Karen spotted her from across the room. For a heartbeat, she was a statue. Then she threaded through the guests, her face a mask of fury until she was right in Susan's face.
What are you doing here?
Happy birthday to me, Mother. Did you forget again?
You're insane. This is Ashley's day, not yours.
I know that's the problem, but I'm not here to ruin it. I'm here to talk.
Karen's eyes flicked around the room. She grabbed Susan's wrist and pulled her toward a curtained alcove. They slipped behind the velvet. Susan pulled her hand free and faced her mother. In that narrow space, Susan's calm was a weapon. Karen's chest heaved.
I'm not here to argue. I'm here to show you this.
She pressed the document into Karen's hands. Karen unfolded it, her eyes racing down the page.
2.1 million. It's all gone.
Her champagne glass slipped from her free hand and shattered on the floor. She didn't even flinch at the sound.
That's the trust amendment. The morning Grandpa died, he moved it to me. You get the house.
He wouldn't. He couldn't do this to me. I was his daughter.
Susan pulled her grandfather's note from her pocket, not to show it, just to feel it.
He saw everything, Mom. Every birthday you ignored. Every lie you told him.
That call from the bank. She knew. She was there this morning.
Karen staggered back against the curtain, her face a mask of ruin. Then Karen's phone rang, not the bank, but the caterer. She stared at the screen, her lips moving without sound. Before anyone could speak, Ashley rushed in, her smile gone. Robert followed, his face pinched with alarm.
What is going on, Mom? What did she do?
Ashley snatched the trust document from her mother's limp fingers before Karen could stop her. Her eyes flew over the page, widening. Then her voice cracked.
$2 million to her? And we get nothing? This has to be a mistake.
Susan, please. Let's talk about this. There has to be a way to work it out.
Ask her. She's the one who spent 13 years lying. I'm done talking.
She walked out of the alcove and into the corridor, the bundle of cards pressed to her chest. Behind her, Ashley's wail began. Susan didn't look back. Not at her mother's pleading, not at her sister's fury, not even at her father's stunned silence. The night air hit her face as she stepped through the winery's stone archway. Behind her, the chaos was muffled and far away. She found a quiet alcove away from the valet lights and leaned against a cool stone pillar.
I did it. I faced her and I didn't break. He would be proud.
Her hand trembled as she pulled Charles' note from her pocket, the paper warm from her body.
I know what she did. He knew, even when I doubted myself.
She traced the shaky blue ink with her fingertip, as if the letters could still carry his voice.
Thank you, Grandpa. I got your birthday cards. I got them all.
A tear slipped down her cheek, but this time it wasn't from pain. It was from being found.
This is my birthday. And for the first time in 13 years, I'm not alone.
She folded the note carefully, kissed it, and slipped it back into the pocket over her heart. Inside the winery, the string quartet faltered and stopped. The silence that followed was broken only by the sound of Karen's sobs. She had sunk onto a velvet chair, the trust document crumpled at her feet, her mascara streaking down her face.
It's all gone. Everything. He took it from me.
Ashley stood in the middle of the dance floor, her fists clenched, her voice rising to a shriek.
This is my party. My birthday. She ruins everything.
The caterer's lead server approached Karen with a tablet, showing an unpaid balance. A voice cut through the noise. The card has been declined. We need payment now or we pack up.
We'll find the money. Just give us until morning.
Guests began gathering their coats, their whispers turning the room into a hive of scandal. By the time the first guest walked out, the 4-tier cake stood untouched, and Ashley's birthday banner fluttered, half torn. Robert held Karen's shoulders, trying to console her, but she was inconsolable, the gala reduced to a tableau of failure. Later that evening, Susan stood alone at the cemetery, the silver light of the moon catching the granite of Charles' grave. She knelt on the cold grass, the bundle of cards still in her hands, and selected the one meant for this year.
I brought you one of your cards, Grandpa. The one for my 32nd birthday.
She anchored the card with a single rose, the petals catching the last light from the horizon.
I know you never got to send it, but I'm sending it to you. Today counts because of you.
She pulled the worn note from her pocket, letting the moonlight spill across his handwriting.
I won't let it be for nothing. I promise to use what you left me to help others.
A breeze stirred the grass around her, and for a fleeting moment, she felt his presence. When she finally stood, the bundle of cards remained against the stone, a testament to 11 years of love. She drove away, the note over her heart, and for the first time, her birthday felt like hers. Weeks later, Susan's apartment had changed, new paint, more light, and on the wall, a single shadow box. Inside it, one of Charles' birthday cards, with his handwriting visible through the glass. She held her phone to her ear, Andrew's voice steady on the line.
I set up a small fund in his name to help foster children. It's what he would have wanted.
He would be proud of you, Susan. Truly.
On her laptop screen, a confirmation page from the Charles Vance Memorial Fund glowed.
Every dollar he left me is building something good. That's his real legacy.
The apartment felt free of old shadows, filled with plants and soft morning sun. She glanced at the framed card, a small smile touching her lips. For the first time in years, her home felt like her own, and her future felt open. One afternoon, Susan sat by the window of a quiet coffee shop, a book open on the table, the sun warm on her hands. Her phone lit up with a long message. The sender was Ashley. The text read, "You ruined everything. We lost the house, the cars, everything. Please just call me. Mom needs you."
She blames me, as always. But I'm not the girl who needed their approval anymore.
Susan read the message twice, then tapped the delete button without typing a word.
No, not after what she did. I don't owe her a reply.
She set the phone face down on the table and looked out the window at the street.
I'm finally allowed to live my own life. This is real peace.
A woman walked by laughing, and Susan smiled, feeling something she hadn't in years: contentment. She picked up her coffee and walked out into the bright day, the door swinging shut behind her. She didn't look back.